This is my 2022 Tesla Model Y Performance. It's got 50,000 miles on it already, under 3 years. So how's it holding up? Let's go find out. Coming up on it officially, 49,999 miles. This car is less than 3 years old, so yeah, we drive the heck out of it, apparently. Warranty, the 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty is about to expire, but don't forget, those that are in the same boat, the battery and motor warranties are still good for 120,000 miles, or 8 years. So, here we go. It's about to flip 50. And like my son just said, what do you win anything? An achievement award or anything? And yes, you lose your warranty. Congratulations. Now you have to pay for everything, except the battery and the motors. Okay, we got caught at a light, so we paused the video. And we're back recording. Because it turns out when you're stuck at a light, you don't... There it is! 50,000 miles! Captured on video and everything. Bye-bye warranty. That's a bummer. But hey, that's pretty cool. So we're at 50,000 miles. Let's get into the video and see exactly how this car is doing at the, I think it's 2 years, 9 months, and 50,000 miles. Walking up to the car, in terms of damage and wear, I really can't think of much more than rock chips on the hood, which I'll show you, as well as 3 of the 4 wheels have had curb damage, but we have fix those with a mobile wheel repair guy that we like, and we've actually done videos on the channel with his work. It's pretty amazing stuff. I think currently one of the wheels does still have some curb damage. It happened a couple of weeks after the last repair, and I was like, come on, really? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's right there. Pretty common amongst Teslas, and you know, we'll wait for a little bit more damage before we do any more curb damage repair on the wheels, but I believe 3 of the 4 wheels have had curb damage. In terms of front bumper damage or anything like that, this car spends the majority of its life on the Los Angeles 405 freeway. It's pretty brutal, and we did not do any PPF on this car at all. Paint protection film, not a single bit. Of course, we did, I forget if I did ceramic coating or wax. I think I might have did turtle wax ice. I kind of like that stuff. At any rate, let's take a look at the paint chips. There's one right here I can see pretty far away. One right here. It's actually moved to the side. You can see that. Oh, here's a big one here. But I mean, overall, I have to say it's not bad after 50,000 miles. I think there's one right here. Yep, definitely one right there. So not too bad. As far as the front bumper, I think there's one right here. Some of this is bugs. Now, I did wash the car last night, just real quick. But overall, after 50,000 miles, I'd have to say this looks pretty good. I think this is bug stuff here. Yeah, that's bug stuff. After 50,000 miles, it really does not look bad at all. This right here is actually some scuffing. So if you're wondering, is it an absolute must to get paint protection film? I believe that's all in your comfort level and how much damage you can live with. My way of thinking is this: if you can step all the way back here, and I only see one of the ones I just showed you to the left of the logo there, we're doing pretty good, because this is where most people see your car anyway. You're gonna know about the big damage things, but not bad after 50,000 miles in my opinion. Another question that comes up frequently on the Facebook groups as well as my channel is the windshield. They're weak, they're flimsy, they're substandard, they're worse than every other windshield out there. I can tell you, after 50,000 miles and 64,000 miles on my Model 3, we have yet to replace a windshield. And again, LA freeways, brutal. So I think it's really just the luck of the draw. I don't think they're any necessarily weaker or thinner than any other glass out there. It's really just luck of the draw. In fact, if you look back at our European road trip, we rented a Model Y in Amsterdam. 10 minutes into the trip. 10 minutes. 10 minutes into the trip of renting a Model Y, we had a cracked windshield. So again, luck of the draw. In terms of maintenance, the only maintenance I've pretty much done is top off the windshield wiper fluid, as well as the interior cabin filters. I've done those a bunch of times. I don't even remember how many times. Those are $17 a filter. You need 2 per service. And then I use a can of Cool-It. I think I had Tesla do it once because it was at a Tesla event. But I want to say I've done it 4 times total. The other 3 times I did it myself. It's really not that hard of a service. What other maintenance items? Obviously tires. We'll get into tires in a second, but yeah, we've done tires. I can't think of anything else maintenance-wise. If I do, I'll throw it up on the screen as a text. But just windshield wiper fluid, and that's pretty much it. There have been 2 warranty issues with this car. I should tell you, if you're looking to buy a new Tesla, this car has never seen the service center after delivery. We've had mobile service come out a few times, and I'll tell you about that here now. One of which was this fog light was actually fogged in. I'll show you the video. I mean, it was crazy amount of water, and they came out, they removed the wheel, they took out the this liner here, and I'd say they popped it out and popped the new one in about 10 or 15 minutes. So that was one warranty issue. The other warranty issue that came up a few times was our spoiler. This is a performance model, and it comes with a spoiler. And this is the 3rd spoiler that we've gotten. All warranty. Of course, they do an estimate, and it's like $1,100, and they scare the hell out of you, and it ended up to be 0. And the problem was, it was lifting up at the ends here. I could actually put a Post-it all the way down to here, and it was lifting up, and I showed them a picture of that, and they said, yeah, we'll come out and take a look at it. This is actually pretty good. That's as far as it goes. So I think this one's a keeper. This is the 3rd iteration of this spoiler, and now that it's out of the basic warranty after the 50,000 miles, I think we're stuck with this one. So not too bad. So those are the only 2 warranty issues that I can think of on this car. It's been pretty rock solid. Let's talk wheels and tires, shall we? This car, as you saw, has 50,000 miles on it. These tires in the fronts of this performance model, because it's staggered, are original. Can you believe this? There's a little bit of wear on the inside there, but after 50,000 miles, these fronts are still going strong. I'd say at least another 5, maybe 10,000 miles on these fronts. I'll show you the rears in a second. Also, brakes. You brake experts out there, here, take a look. I'm no brake expert, but they look pretty good. I'd have to say they probably look brand new. And this was a time when we actually got real performance brakes, not the covers that are coming with the new performance models, which is a little disappointing. Now, to the rears. We've actually changed these rear tires out. We got the same exact ones as stock, just because there was a sale on them, and I decided, why mess with it? Why have 2 different sets? If you're wondering why we don't rotate these tires, yes, the manual says you can rotate performance model tires, but I don't quite understand that, because the inside of the tire is still going to be the inside of the tire. If you move this tire to the other side and that side to the, it's a whole thing. So I have not rotated these tires at all. Side to side, up and down, whatever. Obviously not front to back, because they're different. So let's take a look at these. These were changed out at 31,000 miles, and I think they're still looking pretty good. A little bit of that inside wear again, and those of you that are yelling at the screen saying you need a rear alignment, well, I've done a crazy ton of research on that, and it turns out the way these are set up, you really can't fix it. And honestly, these are going pretty good. These are what, I want to say 19,000 miles. Is that if my math is correct? 50,000, 31, I think that's 19,000. So not too bad on these rears either. They're going to wear out anyway. So what's the difference is how I feel about it. So rears are going to wear out faster on the performance models. At least that's my experience with this car. Let's talk tinting. I think it's pretty much the only aftermarket thing I've done to this car on the outside anyway. Tinting looks like this. Now the car comes model-wise come with the rear privacy glass. These rear windows and the back come tinted, but it's not necessarily for heat reduction. So I went ahead and did heat reduction on top of the privacy glass. I forget the percentage I did. It was pretty high. I want to say 70% on the rears. The higher the number, the more see-through it is, by the way. And then on the fronts, I want to say I did 25% or thereabouts. You could still see through it. It still provides a decent amount of privacy, depending on which angle you're at. And I did that early on, like week 1 of ownership of this car. Oh yeah, the logos, I did some plasti dip on the logos, made those red. I did a video on that as well if you want to look for that. I actually did plasti dip on this dual motor thing. It went horribly wrong, so I gave up. I tried to make that blacked out. But that's pretty much it. This car is kind of stock on the outside. I can't see any other things I've done to it like I have done to my Model 3. I've done a few things. Yeah, this thing is pretty stock on the outside. We, of course, talked about the windshield already, but the rest of the glass also fine. The roof, haven't had any issues with the roof or rear glass or side glass. It's all been just fine. Holding up nicely. Overall, pretty happy with the glass. Let's take a look at the interior, more specifically the driver's compartment of the cabin, which is going to take the most amount of wear. Obviously, my wife drives this daily to her job. I was lucky enough to get it for today to do a video. Had to beg for it. So this area of the seat, it's honestly wearing pretty nicely. This part never came loose or anything. We've seen the horror stories on that. This, I want to say, was there when it was new. I could be wrong, I don't remember, but it's kind of a common thing with this folding here. Rest of the seat, I mean, 50,000 miles, not too bad at all, I think anyway. We've got our floor mats in there. I vacuumed for you, but I didn't get a chance to clean it up that extra step there for you. Sorry about that. Steering wheel. This is the synthetic steering wheel. My Model 3 actually has a leather one, but the synthetic one is holding up nicely. It's a little squishier than the leather one that I have, but I can't think of any scuff marks or any issues or anything like that. It's actually holding up pretty nicely. As far as the door, I mean, my Model 3 has like an elbow indentation right here. That's holding up nicely here. I think this is just dirt. Yeah, that's just dirt. The door overall, I mean, the build quality, in my opinion, on this 22 as opposed to my 19 is light years ahead. They came a long way in just those 3 years of build quality. Of course, here's an aftermarket thing. I didn't like the wood. I still don't like the wood. I don't understand the wood. So I put a cover on it, and it's been holding up just nicely as well. I want to say that's a base Nor cover. And then, of course, my favorite accessory, hands down, I'll throw the link in the description, is this right here. I use this every single day. The MagBak iPhone charger with MagSafe. It works so well. It's right in the line of sight. It's next to the screen and charges your phone pretty nicely and pretty quickly. Now that I got all these Starbucks sticks out of the door, we're going to do a little door test over here. As you can see, nothing left. Oh, there's one left. Ah, how did I miss it? So many of these things. All right, let's do the door test and see how it sounds. I'm gonna turn the camera around. Hopefully, well, actually, let's see how this mic picks it up. All right. Shh. And as far as I remember, that's about how it sounded when it was new. This thing just feels really, really solid in terms of its build quality and holding up after the 50,000 miles. Let's go again. Sounds great. It really does. Let's go over into like a rear passenger door, because those don't get used as much. All right, rear passenger door again, empty as far as I can tell. No Starbucks being enjoyed back here. This is behind the driver. Let's hear how this one is, because it's just not as used as much, you know. Quiet on the set. Ooh, that's even more solid. If I'm being honest, yeah. I mean, that's obviously still close to new. Here we go again. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. So how is the trunk holding up after multiple road trips and daily use and shopping and all that stuff? It's doing well, honestly. I mean, obviously we got a trunk floor mat here. We use the bottom for all kinds of stuff. In fact, we haven't taken out our snow socks yet from from the winter, but they're light enough. Things that we like about the trunk in the Y as opposed to the 3. Obviously, we've got the buttons here for the seats. We've got an outlet back here, which is nice. The 3 does not have that right there. And the one thing that I am jealous of, because this is my wife's car, is the cubbies on both sides. I've only got a cubby on the left side of my 3. I believe the new Model 3s have cubbies on either side. And of course this, my Model 3 does not have the automatic closing door, which is nice. So yeah, we use this car pretty extensively, pretty heavily for shopping and road trips, and in terms of wear and tear, it's holding up great. Oh, this is great. My Model 3 doesn't have this because one of the software updates wiped it out, and I was not very pleased or happy about it. But I've still got the since delivery stats here, and that's pretty awesome. So let's take a look together, shall we? 49,916 miles, close enough to 50,000 miles for this video. In fact, by the time this video drops, it will have 50,000. 13,935 kilowatt hours total energy used. And look at the average energy for a Model Y performance, 279 watt hours per mile. Just so you know, that is pretty decent. We just did a road trip to Santa Barbara, LA to Santa Barbara and back. It was a day trip, not technically a road trip. And I believe my watt hours per mile on that was like 241. And that's a smaller car, one motor. So to see lifetime 279 watt hours per mile, I'm actually shocked. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I just realized we might have it here, and pretty decent. Inside the Frunk, usually not too much to see here. We do use the Frunk extensively on road trips, but on a day-to-day basis, not so much. So it's, you know, it's wearing just fine. Pretty much the only user serviceable thing is right here, and that's the windshield wiper fluid. I'll have to check that. My wife actually uses that quite a bit, and we like to keep a jump starter here in the Frunk. The reason we keep it in the Frunk is because if the car totally dies, the 12 volt completely dies. Oh, yeah, I got to tell you about that. If the 12 volt completely dies, you got to get inside here. There's 2 wires. You can actually jump start the Frunk with a 9 volt battery, and then once you're inside the Frunk, you use this to jump start the car. The 12 volt sits kind of right around here, and then you can actually jump start the car and get it going and service it as needed. Another maintenance item that I just remembered is the 12 volt battery, and we like to do it proactively, so I did it at the 2-year mark. So I've only added one 12 volt battery. I put up a request in the app. They said, you know, I'd like to do a proactive 12 volt battery swap. It was free. It was under warranty. They tested it, I guess, over the air somehow. Said, sure, no problem, we'll be out. And they came out to do that just in my driveway. It took like 5 minutes. They just pop this out, take the old battery out, pop the new one in, make sure everything's working, and they were on their way. So yeah, that's another maintenance item that you may want to do, especially if you have the 12 volt lead acid battery, which is, this one was right on the cusp of when they were changing from 12 volt lead acid to the lithium ion. No telling how long the lithium ions are going to last, but I would suspect they're going to last the life of the car. I would trust those way more than the old style. I'm going to do mine every 2 years, no matter what, because even if you have to pay for it, which I have on my Model 3, even if you have to pay for it, it's reasonable and cheap. It's like $140 installed. Mobile Tech comes out, boom, you're done. We did have one minor fender bender. We had a Chevrolet Volt hit us in the carpool lane, rather hard actually, and it's got a little scratch right here. That's all that happened here. This reflector was damaged. I swapped that out with a one from Amazon, and it's, you know, this is the only damage from the Chevrolet Volt hitting us. If I have the video, I'll show it to you, but it's elsewhere on the channel. You could see it. I got the Sentry mode, or the dash cam video off of that. How does it drive? Like brand new. I don't think I've ever owned a car where at the 50,000 mile mark, it still feels solid. I mean, that's probably the best word I can come up with. It still feels solid. It still feels nimble on the road. It doesn't, like, the steering doesn't feel like it's gotten weak or loose or anything like that. It still feels like the day we bought it. I can't say the same of my 2019 Model 3. That one, you get inside and there's a few things here and there that it does feel aged. It still feels great to drive. It's still fast and all that stuff, but little things like door closing and the steering and all that kind of stuff on the Model 3 just feels a little looser, a little aged, a little worn, but not so on this Model Y. It's been fantastic at the 50,000 mark. All right, moment of truth. Would I buy another Model Y? Absolutely, hands down, no question. This car has been awesome. It's taking a beating over the 2.5 years or so. It's going to reach 100,000 miles in the 5-year mark, between 5 years and 6 years, and it's holding up just nicely. It feels brand new still when you drive it, and I highly recommend the Model Y. There's no question why this car is so popular worldwide in terms of its functionality, its use, its longevity, its quality is way better than you're reading on Facebook. Keep in mind, the comments you're hearing or reading on Facebook, those are all the people complaining. You never see people like me go on there and say, you know what, all's good, because that's boring. Nobody's going to do that. So most of the bad stuff you're hearing about this car is minor. I mean, again, this car has never seen the service center for anything. It's just had a few minor things where the mobile service tech comes out, and you know, that's kind of expected on a car like this. But for the most part, yeah, this car has been amazing, as has my Model 3. I'm completely happy with the Model 3 or the Model Y. It's almost the same car. I mean, you jump in, one of my kids doesn't even know the difference yet. I have to keep showing him the bar on the top on the roof. So they are so similar. The driving experience is very similar. This one I could tell that it's a little bigger, a little heavier, that sort of thing. But in terms of functionality, if you're looking for more room, more size for road trips, hands down get the Y. If you're a daily commuter and you like a smaller vehicle, a sedan, sports car kind of feel, then get the Model 3. Both are awesome. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you see exactly how these things are holding up after a certain mileage point, after a certain year's point. And if you are in the buying process, I could safely say these are awesome cars. I have a Model 3 SR Plus from 2019. It's got 64,000 miles on it, and it's doing just fine. It's running great. It's running like it was brand new. So longevity in these cars, not an issue. Hey, thank you so much for watching another video. If you enjoy the information that you are getting out of these videos, be sure to hit the like button. It really, really helps out the channel. And go that extra step, if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to the channel. Over 11,000 of you have already done that. It means the world to us, and it blows my mind. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.